First television commercial I did was in Waverley Street Station, ever. A British Railways commercial, 1967. How many years ago was that? You're bright, you're a teacher. How many years ago was that? 39 years ago. Well, I'll give you the commercial. Now there's an interesting one, hang on. I'm standing in Waverley Station and there's one of the new diesel electrics sitting there with the carriages behind it, and I'm saying, the most powerful engine I've ever driven delivered 750 horsepower. These beauties, because it's got more than one engine in it, these beauties produce 7,500 horsepower, and they're fast. They're really fast. They can get you from Edinburgh to London in under 5 hours, and I can't even do that. Oh no, and even I can't do that. That was it. Now that's the commercial. And you say, what's the big deal, Jackie? For me to get that banked in here, to do the commercial, to remember it to camera, I had to write it out, not joined up letters. I had to write it out in print time and time and time again in order for me to bank it. I could not do it in the traditional way. And you've got to do it in one take. Not one take, but on one roll. So sometimes you might go up to 15, 16 takes before the director's satisfied with what you're doing. But I was able to almost every time do it the same way. Maybe a little bit faster or a little bit slower. But I had banked it to such an extent, because I think I was paid £25,000 to do it, I think the number was. Now £25,000 39 years ago, not much for you very rich teachers, but for a wee racing driver it was a lot of money. So, but these things I don't lose. And yet, I can't give you any of the dates in history. I certainly couldn't give you any of the great battles in history, or anything else that is asked of me in an educational sense. I just don't have it, and it's not there. So, I really want to put to you that the more pressure you put on as pupils to understand this more clearly, and even to your educators, because it is they who direct the curriculum and what is in that curriculum. And if you don't get as much input and therefore material to be able to educate you by the time you're finished your education as a professional teacher, you will not be well enough equipped to look after that, and you will definitely get exposed to somebody dyslexic when you're out there in the battlefield, so to speak. And if you can do it, you will be helping some young person to take a grip of their life. Because apart from the alcoholism, apart from the drugs, and these are big temptations and they're all available, to get escaped, to get out of the dilemma, to get away from the aggro, because the parents are putting it. Never mind the teachers and never mind the schoolmates. Your parents should go home with ridiculously poor results, and they're asked to come to the school to account for their son or their daughter's pathetic performance. But then it goes further than that. So it's the humiliation of it drags those people, and in many cases, every single year in this country, suicide, because they are so totally unhappy, feeling so inadequate, and are bruised by other people's abuse of them. You know, if they're young lads and they see a pretty girl, the pretty girl doesn't want to know them because they're in the same class. They've seen them deliver a stupidity in their eyes. So they don't want to be seen with him. So he's knocked off, and he's socially, turned away. Very negative.